Hey you guys, good morning. So I have a very important topic for you guys today about what to do if someone is deliberately closing your spiritual roads. And if you don't know what that means, it's basically when someone is sending you a lot of negativity, trying to cause you blockages, trying to block, or in some cases steal even, your blessings, and just the overall flow of life. They are trying to close your roads. They're trying to cause you a bunch of delays. And if you need some more confirmation that maybe that's what's going on, I do suggest getting a reading just so that you can get that clarity and confirmation that you need. If you need a reading, you can go to sirensnectar.com/booking and book with me there. But it's very important to know if your roads are open or not. And as a practitioner, this is something that I check on a regular basis. I do stay on top of it because I have come to learn over the years that this very rarely comes from a stranger. I'm not saying it's unheard of. You know, we all have haters, especially on the internet. But in my case, when I was going through this, it was someone that I had left their life. We were in a very toxic relationship. He did not treat me very well, and I left. I said enough is enough, because plain and simple, we're not good for each other, right? And I tried my best to leave in peace, and he just would not stop trying to close my roads because he learned to do this from his enemies. And in his mind, because his roads were closed, he wants everyone else's roads to be closed, type thing. So it's a very malicious practice, but it's very common when it comes to practitioners, especially of ATR, of African traditional religions, because we do have a heavy focus on our paths, on our roads, on these road opening spirits like Papa Legba, Elegwa, and Nusado. Okay, those are 3 different spirits from 3 different paths that are in charge of opening and closing roads and doors. So anyway, the first thing to do is get confirmation that your roads are closed. You can either do this by getting a reading by a practitioner if you're not very experienced, or you can do it on your own if you know how to. Okay? Second thing you need to do is you need to find out if this was something deliberately sent, meaning someone is doing witchcraft against you, or if it's just some kind of other external force like maldiojo, like gossip, envy, evil eye, jealousy, things like that, that you are not properly protecting yourself from. If you need help protecting yourself, I am coming out with a course next month. It is called Thriving Through Psychic Attack. It comes out October 15th. And it is all about just beating the psychic attack, beating the negativity, and taking care of yourself again, and healing, and doing the inner work that comes along with the process, and all of that. And you can go to my website, sirensnectar.com, for more information on that. But it's very, very thorough, and I recommend it for everyone because it is so fundamental to know as a practitioner, even as a beginner, how to cleanse and protect yourself. That is more important than any money spell you will ever do, more important than any love spell you'll ever do, because that is what holds our blessings. That is what protects us and safeguards us against the negativity of this world. Okay? So far we have get confirmation that your roads are closed and find out what method is closing them, whether it's being sent or if it's something else outside of you. And sometimes we can close our own roads too. You know, sometimes we are beating up on ourselves. Sometimes we are getting too much in our head and causing ourselves mental blockages and just not taking the appropriate aligned action that we need to do to manifest our goals. Number 3 is cleanse yourself, okay? Or get a cleansing if you don't know how to properly cleanse. And sometimes, if you're a beginner, the negativity is so bad that you need almost a separate set of hands, I like to say. You need an external person to cleanse you. Okay? This is where a priest or priestess comes in. That has the ache, that has the magic, the power, the spirits walking with them and flowing through them, and that own power within themselves too, to remove the negativity because they're strong enough to do it. You can get spiritual cleansing baths on my website, sirensnectar.com, or you can book a reading with me and book a coaching call, and I will teach you how to make your own spiritual baths. But regardless, you need a pretty strong cleansing, and you also need to cleanse your house, cleanse your car, cleanse your space. This is where floor washes come in, smudging, incense, burning herbs, things like that. Y'all, I cannot stress this enough. If your roads are being closed, one of the main things that you need to do when you are cleansing your space is focus on cleansing your entryways, okay? That means your front door, your back door. If you have welcome mats, things like that, that whole area needs to be cleansed spiritually. What I like to do is when I do a floor wash, I like to take a little bit of that floor wash and put it on a rag and wipe down my doors while I have the door open. That way that negativity that I'm wiping off can leave. Okay, and you also need to be cleansing yourself, like I said. And number 4 is you need to have some type of protection and reversal work in place, and you also need to have a strong protection surrounding you by your spirit guides. And this looks like having a strong connection with them, making sure that your ancestors and your spirit guides are adequately fed. I personally feed mine once a week at least. I do not feed mine every single day because I do not believe in keeping spirits very earthbound. Yes, sometimes they have to be closer to earth in order to intervene and help us and things like that. But it's not good to overgive, but you also don't want to undergive. So it's all about finding balance within your own practice. Fresh flowers are always good to give, fresh fruit. Making sure that the water on your boveda, if you have a boveda, is always clear and clean. Doing your prayers at your boveda. Okay, prayer is a very, very strong form of protection, and it's very important. And another thing that's helpful to have is some type of amulet. Okay, you can get these on my website as well. I just listed them. They are $222, except for the one for protection from police. That one is going to be $333 because there's a little bit more intricate work that goes into it. But there are spiritual protection amulets available on my website. And there's also one for evil eye. There's one against gossip. So it's good to have that on your person or even in your home to protect you from the negativity and maybe the witchcraft, to ward it away. And, staying on top of your reversal. Don't be afraid to send shit back. Because a lot of people, they'll throw and throw and throw, and it's all fun and games until their life is a mess. And by the time they find out it was by their own hand, it's too late. The events that they brought upon themselves have spiraled out of control so badly that there's really no coming back from it. I've seen that happen a lot, actually. People not knowing who they're coming up against and underestimating people and picking the wrong fights. That's why I always tell you guys, mind your business. Don't be out here, making enemies. I don't argue with people on the internet. I don't debate with people, especially in the spiritual community. I do, when it comes to certain topics, like last year, when that one girl was saying that Zarabanda was coming through her tarot cards. Oh yeah, as a yaya, I had a duty to speak on that. Because Zarabanda was my first Nganga, my first pot in Palo. And I have a certain loyalty to him. And he does not come through tarot cards. So, but I didn't go on that girl's page and harass her. I included the video in my own content and nicely and gracefully explained why she was wrong. Because I have the authority to do so. But I hold no hate against that girl. It's just whatever she read was misinformed. But there's a certain way to carry yourself so that you don't make enemies. That's what I'm saying. And, you know, don't go around threatening people, because those can turn into terroristic threats, by the way, if y'all didn't know. There's a lot of protection that can come from just minding your business. And I feel like someone needs to hear that. So, again, if you would like to book a reading with me, you can go to sirenconnector.com/booking. I do also put a little bit of my booking information in each description of my videos, so that you guys can get a good idea of what services I provide and how to get in touch with me and things like that. Okay? I love you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.